Hello and welcome to Face Prep. In this video, we'll be talking about a wonderful off-campus opportunity in TCS for 2020 and 2021 passouts. So if you are 2020 or 2021 passout watching this video, it's phenomenal news for you. TCS, as you know, has been putting out a lot of news out there on the internet talking about how the number of offers in terms of freshers they're going to hire this year is looking at a very healthy number. There are a lot of news which Face Prep by ourselves we've released saying that TCS is looking to hire at least 70,000 plus freshers this year. This is official in a lot of news sources. The off-campus drive for 2022 passouts, the Ninja hiring campaign just got over, and immediately something wonderful has started for 2020 and 2021 passouts. So in this video, we will cover all that you need to know in terms of what this off-campus opportunity is, what roles and packages are covered, what is the test pattern, what is the eligibility criteria, what is the recruitment process, and how do you prepare and apply for it. So let's dive right in. So before we start, certain key information that you must know about this off-campus hiring process by TCS is this is only for students who are passing out in 2020 and 2021. So if you are from any other year of pass out, then this is not definitely not for you. If you are a 2022 pass out who's asking, hey, will there be another opportunity for me in the next few months? Possibly yes, but this is especially for 2020 and 2021 pass outs. Now there are specific streams which people are eligible for. So you could be from any branch from BE, BTech, ME, MTech, MCA and MSc. You are 100% eligible for this. The registrations for this off-campus hiring have already opened up on TCS's website. Towards the later part of this video, we'll also be putting the link in terms of how do you register for that. You can check that out. You would also be finding the link for that in terms of how do you find that link in the description of this particular video. It's already open, the registrations, and the registrations are ending by 15th November. So please ensure that you hurry and register yourself right away if you're looking to capitalize on this off-campus job opportunity. Okay, now roles and packages is a brilliant news first of all, right? So usually the largest entry level package that TCS hires for is the Ninja package, which is usually 3.6 lakhs per annum. So amongst a lot of the hires that they make, the majority of hires would be for the Ninja profile, right? Now usually in almost every single drive, they also give this opportunity where, hey, if you perform really well in the Ninja test, so they'll usually be an online test basically. If you perform really well, if you're one among, let's say, the top 10-20%, then you would end up getting an opportunity to write an additional test called a toppers test, right? Now if you clear this toppers test, you could go for an interview for a higher level package in TCS, which is called the TCS digital package, by the way, which is 7 lakhs per annum. Now this is great news for 2020 and 2021 passouts, because if you do really well in the first round online test, you could be invited for another additional toppers test, and if you do well in that, you could interview for a 7 LPA role in TCS. They've clearly mentioned this on their registration page, so this is phenomenal news. This means that they're hiring in large numbers for both Ninja as well as the digital profile. Let's talk about detailed eligibility criteria. So this is again available on the TCS's site. We've also made it available for you on Face Prep's site. So quickly showing you, so there is a minimum academic criteria. So you need to have a minimum aggregate of 60% or 6 CGPA in every class, 10th, 12th, diploma if applicable, graduation and post-graduation examination that you've written. So this is a mandatory requirement. This is usually a mandatory requirement for every off-campus hiring of TCS. If you are somebody who falls into an extended education category, then you might not necessarily be eligible for this. You should have completed every single course of yours, 10th, 12th, diploma, grad, postgrad, etc. in the stipulated duration, whatever is the number of years that are allocated for it. If you've taken extended education, then you might become ineligible for this. You should not have any pending backlogs. This is a very clear criteria. So for 2020 and 2021 passouts, there are no active backlogs which are allowed. Usually active backlogs will be allowed for final year grads 2022 passouts, but they will have the criteria to clear them before they join the company. But in this case, you have a clear strict criteria of no pending backlogs. and you can end up having gaps in education between courses basically. Overall academic gap, they've clearly specified that it should not exceed 24 months until your highest qualification, and you need to declare it clearly when you apply on the site. So this is pretty important. And only full-time courses are applicable. Any part-time correspondence courses will not be applicable. In case you're 2020 or 2021 pass out who already has some work experience also, if you have up to 2 years of work experience, you can still apply. Now see, I'll tell you what this means. If you have 0 years of work experience, being a 2020 or 2021 pass out, you can apply. If you also have work ex up to 2 years, you have work ex from 0 until 2 years, you can 100% apply. So this is again good news for working professionals who want to apply for this and land a dream job in TCS. And there is an age limit as well. That age limit, like always, is between 18 to 28 years of age. Super. And the degrees we already spoke. So BE, BTech, ME, MTech, MCA and MSc are the degrees streams from which you can apply. You could be from any branch basically. You could be a CSIT person, non-CSIT person. There is absolutely zero criteria which are mentioned on the site. So that is again good news for non-CSIT folks who typically don't get opportunities in every single company. So that's phenomenal. So now that you've understood the detailed eligibility criteria, let's try to understand and make sense of the overall hiring process flow. How exactly is it going to work basically? So usually it'll all begin with a 180-minute online test. In the forthcoming slide, I'll also show you what exactly is getting tested in a 180-minute online test, but that is the first step, right? Now, once you clear the online test, so usually what will happen is they'll have two cutoffs. One is a toppers cutoff for digital, then there is a ninja cutoff for the 3.6 lakhs per annum. If you clear the ninja cutoff, you will go for a technical HR interview for the ninja profile, and if you clear that, you end up getting the 3.6 lakhs per annum package. Alright, this is a straightforward thing. I hope this is very clear for you. Now, this is where things get interesting for those of you who are looking to land a higher paying job in TCS. So if you do really well in the test, right, you need to be in the top 10-20%. You need to get something called a digital cutoff or a toppers cutoff. Now, of course, naturally, this cutoff is not absolute. It is relative. It naturally depends on how everybody performs. So you need to ensure that you do your utmost best in terms of solving as many questions right and getting as good a score as possible. So if you do this, you are invited to take up one more test. It's called the off-campus toppers test, which will usually be a 2-question coding test to be solved in 60 minutes. This is usually the digital coding test basically. Now if you ace that, right, so if you fail that, what happens is then you directly go to a ninja technical interview. So you did not really do well in that off-campus test, off-campus toppers test, you go to the ninja technical interview, technical HR interview, and if you do well in that, you get a ninja package. But if you do well in the off-campus toppers test, you've cleared that test, then you go for a digital interview and you could potentially end up getting a 7 LPA offer. Now in the interview process also, of course, they'll kind of find out if you're doing well, if you're overall still fitting in well for the digital process. Some rare cases, if you're not fitting the bill for digital based on your interview performance, they might still downgrade you for the ninja profile, right? So this is the clear hiring process flow, right? And as you can see, tons of opportunities for those of you who want to land a higher paying job role in TCS, which is the digital offer. 3.6 lakhs per annum package, also multiple opportunities available. So take full advantage of this, understand this process flow and ensure that you prepare your utmost best. Okay, now so it all begins the online test, right? So now what is the online test pattern? So the online test pattern, like I said, is a 180-minute test, 3-hour test basically, which has two parts, part A and part B. Both the parts will happen on the same test slot, same test day. For those of you who might end up asking me in the comment section, they usually end up happening as part of one common test basically. You have to complete part 1 and then go to part A and then go to part B. Now in each part, there are multiple sections. So part A is usually called cognitive ability because it tests numerical, verbal and reasoning ability. And B is all about programming. So programming logic MCQs will be tested. So questions on C, C++, Java basics, pseudocoding, SDLC, basic understanding of data structures, object-oriented programming. These kind of MCQs will get tested. This is a 10 question and 15-minute MCQ section. Then you have a coding section where you need to solve 2 questions in 45 minutes. And you will have a choice of languages between C, C++, Java, Python and Perl usually for both the coding questions, right? Now, usually this online test happens on a TCS Ion platform, just like how it always has. It's been the standard assessment partner for TCS. Now, the tricky part about this test, if you've still not taken a TCS test from Ion yet, you need to understand that there are a couple of challenges. First is you cannot navigate between sections, which means you cannot jump from numerical to verbal, verbal to numerical anytime you want. The test flows in a fixed order, right? So the test will begin from part A and then go to part B, and even within a part, the sections will flow in a specific order. First one section will come, you need to complete that. You need to wait for the entire, for example, let's say you're in the middle of numerical ability. Alright, the entire 40-minute duration has to elapse on the clock, and then only the next section under cognitive will even unlock for you, by the way. So you cannot navigate between sections, and you also cannot navigate inside a section, right? Which basically means if you are inside, let's say, the programming logic section, 10 questions in 15 minutes, you cannot jump to, let's say, question 8 and then to question 2 and then to question 3. That's not possible, right? You need to answer the questions in the exact order that they appear on screen, right? So now this of course comes with a challenge, basically, because you need to answer the question, submit the answer, right? And you cannot go back and change your answer. So there is no negative marking, that's a good sign. But you cannot go and review your old answer, okay? So every question is mandatory and you cannot go and review already submitted answers of previous questions, alright? Now the biggest challenge, which of late in the TCS NQT, especially the last TCS Ninja test that 2022 passouts took up, a lot of people face challenge in this part of it, which is there is something called a question-wise timer, right? So in every single section there is a question-wise timer, and that kind of varies from question to question. For example, in part A, that will roughly differ from 45 seconds to even 60 seconds, okay? Every question will have a question-wise timer running on your screen. You need to be wary of that, and within that time you need to answer that question. Okay. And but of course, for performing calculations, you will have the presence of an on-screen calculator usually on the online test, right? So you can take advantage of that, but you need to work within the question-wise timer. So you need to be fast, basically, right? You need to be super fast, right? And that is the only way in which you can ensure that you will be able to answer as many questions right as possible. And remember, there is no negative marking, which means that it is in your interest to get as many questions attempted as possible, right? Superb. Okay. Now we've spoken about test pattern, we've spoken about hiring process, okay? We spoke about eligibility criteria. Now how do I register for this, right? Simple. What you can do is just open your Google and search for this TCS Off Campus Face Prep, right? So you can do a simple Google search anytime you want. But the direct link is also available in the description. You can check that out also. You can just open Google and search for TCS Off Campus Face Prep. I'm gonna do exactly that right now. So TCS Off Campus Face Prep. If you just open this very first link, TCS Off Campus Drive 2020 and 2021 passouts, you can just open this. As you can see, this is updated. So it's for 2020 and 2021 passouts. This is basically a phase 2 Off Campus Drive. And all the information that we just discussed is also available here, so you can check it out. Detailed eligibility criteria is also mentioned, right? So test pattern, everything is mentioned. So here you will basically have this data which mentions how do you apply. So they would have given you step-by-step instructions. So you need to log into TCS Card Next Step portal, for which the link is given here, right? So you can click on this and go on to apply, and detailed steps in terms of how to register are given here. You just need to ensure that you go and complete the registration process. This registration process is completely free of cost, by the way, alright? So you don't have to pay for this. This is open for 2020 and 2021 passouts who are eligible for this process. And on the same page, if you notice, we've also given you a lot of information like what you need. For example, let's say if you want to understand, hey, what is the syllabus I need to prepare? For that also, we've given you links. You can click on the link and check out what is going to be the syllabus of the entire test, the online test that you will be preparing on. What is the syllabus for that? You can go and ensure that you prepare for that also. Super. Now, how do you prepare? Okay, so like I said, in the Facebook article that we just showed you, the direct link is also available in the description. You can also do a simple Google search of TCS Off Campus Facebook. You will get that also. All right. So the syllabus we already showed you. Now, so you saw a lot of challenges out there naturally, right? So the test has a question-wise timer. You don't have you cannot navigate between sections. You cannot navigate between questions inside a section, right? The test is, I mean, it's not going to be easy, by the way, right? There are a lot of opportunities in TCS, but the test is of reasonable difficulty level also. Questions will also be of reasonable difficulty level, right? So your best method of preparing for TCS is through FacePrep's TCS Ninja NQT course. Just so we give you some confidence, this is one of the best courses that is there in the market in terms of helping students prepare for TCS Ninja or the NQT, depending on whatever they write. Last year alone, 10,000 plus FacePrep learners went on to ace the TCS Ninja or the NQT. Right? So to prepare for this particular test, we have FacePrep's TCS Ninja NQT Cracker. This is the best self-paced course there is in the market in terms of ensuring that you actually prepare on real previous year questions of TCS. So this gives you exposure to so much amount of content. 600 plus actual TCS questions asked in previous years. All the questions are video explanation, aptitude, English, programming, MCQs, logical reasoning, programming logic, everything has video explanation. Coding questions are also available. You have an inbuilt compiler to practice coding, and all coding questions have code solutions in 4 languages: C, C++, Java, Python, and you also have video solutions for practice coding questions in C++. In addition to that, you have 100 tests which have 45 practice mock tests, 50 topic-wise tests, 5 all India TCS mock tests, and the course keeps getting updated based on real-time updates that happen for the TCS Ninja NQT. So this is the ultimate self-paced course that you need in terms of going on to ace the TCS off-campus hiring process that's coming up in your way. And you can enroll for this at just rupees 449. So the actual price of this is 1499, but we usually put up a price of 499, but for our YouTube audience, we're giving 10% off. So you can use the coupon code TCSYT if you can notice this, right? So if you can use this particular coupon code, you will be able to enroll into our course, and the course link for this particular page is available in the description box of this video. If you click on will open this TCS Ninja plus NQT Cracker self-paced course. You can just sign into FacePrep, click on enroll now, and then enter the coupon code, and immediately you can start learning. All right, so that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Look forward to seeing you in the next video from FacePrep. All the best and do really well in the upcoming TCS Off Campus Drive. Thank you very much.
Hey YouTube, how are you doing? Stay tuned to FacePrep for more awesome videos. Don't forget to subscribe.